Eh, each day presents itself with a challenge, and we had to find out new ways to solve the problems. Understanding students' problems, their learning abilities, capacities, and showing them a solution is really a good task. We have to understand students' personal lives, motivate them, inspire them when they are down, when they perform in a lower level, and appreciate their achievements and goals and all this. It's very really very interesting. I love to be with the students, to be with them, to solve their problems. It was an exciting journey, very interesting, happy journey. And these obstacles means then we have to understand different learning abilities of children, their capacities, and try to solve them. We have to focus on slow learners, take them into our domain, and nurture them with care and concern. We have to lend a shoulder to them, a word of support, a word of comfort, and we have to instill confidence in them. We have to give positive attitude and see that they come out of their problems. Then everything goes on smoothly.
Yes, ma'am. So, what is the motivation behind all your achievements?
Yes, that is true. I always believe that a teacher should be a role model, a best example. And students, they pay attention to the behavior of the teachers. You must be knowing it very well. They keep watching, they try to copy, they try to learn many things seeing the teachers. And so I always wish to be a good example to them. And I used to think if I am energetic and if I grow academically and if I keep achieving something good, and that will be an inspiration to students. And whenever there is an achievement, the joy, happiness, and celebration among students made me to work harder and reach much more heights. True, it's
That's
just
very true, ma'am. Yeah. So, as a part of Swachh Bharat mission, you have visited Undavalli caves along with your students to clean the monument. What was your students' reaction after going there, and did you see any changes in the students after the campaign?
we visited caves and some more monuments couple of times. It was all under a policy Swachh Smarak, a part of Swachh Bharat program. And this was inculcated, this was introduced actually by Government of India to imbibe the qualities of appreciation, understanding, preserving and protecting our national monuments. We are very fortunate to have a rich flora and fauna. We have great architecture in our country, great historical monuments in every corner of our country. We have to visit them, enjoy them at the same time, protect them. And so it was a very useful project, and children, they felt very happy, understood the idea behind it, and it gave them a lot of it made them responsible not only towards their family and school, towards the society, towards our traditions and culture too. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So, I want to ask, what is the thing you are most proud of as a teacher?
Big shelf of awards, but in particular, as I told you, I feel very happy whenever I see my students growing up, winning something and coming to me. I feel very happy when I watch my students reaching greater heights. Many of my students won national merit certificates in social science. That's a very happy factor for me. Very happy about it. And yesterday I received a call from a student from IIT Bombay. He was selected for Kargil Global Scholar. A good scholarship, And when he rang up and told me, I felt very, very happy. Of course, I was a recommender for him. And it's a great pleasure more than my achievements. It's a great pleasure watching students hearing their success stories. That gives real happiness, pleasure to any teacher, I think.
Yes, ma'am. So, social studies is more like a theoretical subject, and students often get bored of that. So, how did you make them to listen the class, and what teaching methods did you use to students?
My God, my students will never accept and agree with you, Satvika. I feel very proud, and I say proudly that all my students love my subject, social studies. It is because I love social, I love my students, and I have a great passion for teaching. I love teaching. And methods, many are there. I believe in creating a threat free environment in the classroom, a happy environment where children can clear their doubts freely without any fear. And I used to get them involved in my class in the subject and offer rewards now and then in the form of grade marks, that's it, and develop a caring relationship with the students. Very important, caring relationship. Teachers should be like a friend with the students. And I used to correlate our subject with the current affairs, now and then carry on a dramatization process and all, much more. And all this, and the zeal of the students made so many wonders.
Yes, ma'am, that's absolutely correct. And you have conducted the youth parliament about like 6 times, and you have bagged many national award. So, how was your journey and how was your experience with youth parliament, ma'am?
Parliament competitions are held throughout India in schools, colleges, universities, and HRD department. It is, a very good idea from Government of India to inculcate the idea of democracy among the students. Students should know the real idea behind democracy. Youth parliament competitions are held in order to inculcate some of the qualities like leadership qualities. They develop oratory skills, and this they'll understand the idea behind democracy. They will also know the healthy habit of discussion, debates, and discussions in the parliament. It helps them to develop tolerance. When there will be one opposition party, ruling party, they keep a lot of discussion, debates goes on, and they will understand the healthy habits of discussions and tolerance. So, youth parliament competition, many of our students bagged prizes in the national level, and it's a very sweet memory. Students even now keep asking me about, and they keep reminding me about our journey to Delhi and other places where we had been for competitions and to receive the prizes and all that. It really creates the democratic spirit among the students. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So, if you want to change something in our current educational system, what would it be?
About our current education system in India, it is more, a root system. Children, they have to by heart and reproduce in the examination. And this system has to go, give way to new methods of teaching. And Satvika, it is changing. The system is changing now. We are going to have new system within few months or by next year. The new system should be based on improving the skills, talents of students. It should aim at all-round development of the child. Not, it should aim at emotional, psychological, physical well-being of the child. The education system should prepare the child to fit into the present needs and future demands. And our leaders have already focused on it. And luckily in India, along with the education subjects, curriculum, we also give place to value education. Value education is a must. So I believe that new education should aim at all-round development of individual, and also it should focus on values and manners. Manners, yes. System is changing for good. It is changing to improve the skills, knowledge. It is trying to bring out the best. It is trying to be more practical based study. That's a good change, and it has to be. We are going to see a better education system in 2 days.
Yes, ma'am, I completely agree with you. And as we know, you have zero failures in CBSE board exams in your subjects, and it's completely unbelievable, ma'am. And how did you manage to make it happen?
It's all again the credit goes to students. I taught them, they did their best, and their parents have cooperated. Of course, social studies is a lengthy one. The students have to remember a lot and all that, but I believe that once they understand, they remember it. I wanted my children to love my subject, and I was successful in that. Children, every child is to love my subject, and parents is to complain, Madam, they are after social. Please tell them to be with maths and science too, because that is important. I used to say, how can you say that? Social, they may become good leaders, grade one IAS officers, so don't discourage them. And children, they did their part well. And I believe that a teacher should lend a shoulder, should give a word of support, a word of comfort to the students. We are always there should be a positive atmosphere in the class. There should be a positivity around the teacher and the students, and that I think brought good results. And I also feel that uh, deep knowledge deep knowledge and an understanding of the curriculum and expert communication skills will create interest in any subject, and the results will be superb. We should make time for each student. Every student will have his own problems. We teachers have to try to tackle them, solve them, and develop skills. We have to develop our communication skills. We should be more patient. We should be more compassionate towards the child, and also we should have, passion for the subject. Then we can do wonders. We can do wonders with all these qualities. Any teacher can do wonders. Only thing is should create interest in the subject, love for the subject, and teachers should have that passion towards teaching. And with all these, results will be super anywhere in any subject.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yeah, a woman running a marathon and going for trekking are usually against our social norms we have. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it's the usual norms we have in our culture. So our generation is trying to change those norms, but you, being an older generation, broke those norms and won many awards in marathons, which is a great thing, ma'am. What is the reason behind it?
Thanks to my parents and to my teachers in my convent who encouraged me not only in academics but also in co-curricular activities, especially in sports. I started participating, and in the local marathons, many of my students follow. Hundreds of students are joining me in the marathons. I thought, very good. Well, this is also another factor to inspire my students. When I was 55, I think I got first prize, and Students were so happy, and the next marathon, many more had come from colleges and all my old students. And I thought, okay, let me carry it on, and I started, of course. I did it, and now I am running with along with my students. That is the happiest factor now. And that's it.
Yeah,
Want to be.
ma'am, you are a role model to every one of us, ma'am. Yeah. So you have did many marathons in India and USA too. You went to California for doing a marathon. And how were you welcomed there in USA? And also, what do you think are the major differences in educational system here in India and USA?
Um, there also I was welcomed by our students, ma. I was very happy to and they received me there, and of course it was a very good experience. Education system, coming to that, ours is a traditional one education system. There's a lot of difference between east and west. Western education is, liberal. It is more of practical training, whereas our Indian education system is based on theory. It is a theoretical one. And so students are losing the joy of learning. So what I wish is that um, this system should give way to practical approach. As I said, things are changing, system is changing. Hope for the best. And I said, I told you already, we Indians give value to values, ethics, manners, and the education system is focusing on those points on values. Value-based education system is there in our country. That is a very good point. That is a very good point. And now we have to focus on practical approach in the education system, and that is happening. Now, in our country, we give more importance to grades, marks. The results should be mm, for introspection, not for criticism. Uh, I hope all this will go in few days. And one more thing is, along with academics in India, every parent should understand that co-curricular activities are a must. Every child should be good in one or the other activity, let it be dance, song, mimicry, sports. He should have then one additional quality that makes child more, human. A good human he becomes. And if he is sticking on only to studies, he becomes like a robot. So I appeal to all the parents, along with academics, please pay attention to co-curricular activities. Let your child shine in other fields too. Understand the interest of the child and go take decisions according to his interest. Don't force the child to learn or to be something. Let child act on its own and come up in his life. That freedom we have to give to the child, and then every child becomes a boon to the country. Every child becomes a good citizen of a country. Yes.
I think that's a really good message, ma'am. So, as you being the president for All India Psychological Association, you have visited many schools to counsel the students. What do you think are the main problems faced by students of this generation?
Yeah. I am a link actually in between teaching, learning, community, and psychologists. We used to visit many orphanages and state government schools to talk to children. I really wonder, many students in the state government schools are very energetic, very enthusiastic. They used to wait for us to listen to us and to get their problems solved. Many students are first generation students. they lack guidance at home. That is a major problem we noticed among students. They have no help from their house. They they have the interest, they have the zeal to achieve something, to do something, but no proper guidance at home. So such children used to get good guidance from our psychologists. And children, second problem, as every child, exam stress they used to have, and some common problems. Our psychologists, counselors used to talk to them. We used to sometimes take them individually and talk to them, uh, give them some solutions, and we continue that. It's a great journey, like to go with this group of psychologists, the schools, be with them for a day, talk to many students, exchange ideas, and we used to tell the students how in what best way they can solve their problems, how to understand their lives, their needs, how to have their goal and achieve. Every person is not born with a silver spoon. And there are so many personalities in our own history who have come up in their lives, amidst of so many obstacles. So we keep telling them and motivating them. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So, what advice you want to give to students to cope up with their mental health during this lockdown and all? They're having the online classes, no?
They have. It's a new development, unexpected. If we had this virtual teaching and all since a long time, at least for an hour or two, children would have got adjusted. And now all of a sudden they are locked inside. And this is creating some problems. We only advise the parents to sit with them, to talk to the children, to play games with them, and spend time. We can take it in the other way. Instead of sitting criticizing, we can turn it into a plus point by having a quality time with the uh, family members. And they say today that the many are becoming virtual ast- in the sense autism. It means the type of behavior which is unwanted. And today students have become like that. Watching all the time. Um, I only tell. I used to tell my students and make them do every day in the class for 5 minutes at least meditation, and it is the best time for them to learn pranayam, meditation, yoga, which are very, very useful for us. The whole world is looking at us today uh, to learn all this. And so every child, if he develops an interest and learns our traditional practices, easily he can cope up with any situation in life. And it is the time to play, spend time more with siblings, parents, understand them, and parents too should become friends. We always say teacher should be as a friend. Not only teacher, parents also should be as friends, understand them. And it is the time for them to become more closer with the children. Yes, that's it.
Yes, ma'am, that's absolutely correct. And nowadays, everyone is believing in 9 to 5 jobs and they believe in weekend holidays and all. Most of us are very occupied in their own work. But you are someone who changed it and you focus both on your work and co curricular activities, which is really great, ma'am. What advice you want to give to our viewers so that they could manage everything?
Yeah, one quotation comes to my mind by Dolly Parton. Say it goes like, "Don't get so busy making a living. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." This is happening. Of course, career is very important. 9 to 5, we have to do our job perfect. But career is a part of life that we have to understand. We are here to perform many roles as a sister, daughter, brother, friend, employee. We have so many roles to do. And if we stick on to one role, employee, career, if we stick on to one, what about the others? We shouldn't do injustice to other roles, no? So uh, we should do our best. We should do our best to our work. And I believe that if we have proper planning, a good planning and passion for our work, we really enjoy our work. And at the same time, we can also have a happy time with our relatives, friends, neighbors. We can move, be happy in the society. To be in the society in a happy way, we should have good relations with everyone, perform our duties perfectly, with good planning and passion, and rest will go on in a right way. That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. You are such a model for every one of us. And thank you so much for joining the interview today. It was my pleasure to take your interview. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, ma'am.
Speaker, thank you very much. Thank you
Yes,
for
ma'am.
inviting.
Okay, ma'am.